Hi, hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Veronica and I'm a big lover of makeup. So if you want to see more reviews, looks and more fun videos, don't forget to subscribe. In today's video we are talking about 6 palettes for spring, so if you are curious about that, please keep on watching. First things first, if you are curious about this eye look, it should be already live on Instagram. I'm trying to film a bit more for Instagram/TikTok, so that should be already live. It's a bit crazy even for me. I'm looking in the monitor and I look very crazy. The makeup is very dramatic, but I like colorful and dramatic makeup. So let's start talking about these 6 palettes. The first one is the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde, and I think a lot of you could already have this one because it's very popular and I think it's very stunning. And for spring, I think this is a dream because it has this peachy shade, which is very stunning, and you could pair it with some neutral or some pinky shades from here. And if you want to be a bit more colorful, you can create a look with this bluish, greenish shade. And this one, it's a pastel, and it's so stunning. And you can use this shimmer as well. Let's swatch some shades. I really like this pinky shade. It's very beautiful and it reflects the light very gorgeously. And let's swatch the colorful shade as well. I really like the addition of this pop of color in this palette. The others are a bit too neutral for my taste, but Huda did an amazing job curating this color story, and I just want to recommend it for spring and for all seasons, but for spring I think it's perfect. The second palette that I want to recommend in this video is the Natasha Denona Mini Retro palette, and for some reason I really like this mini palette. It's very easy to create looks with it, and I think this first shade is just a special shimmer from Natasha Denona and is just so beautiful, and is the perfect inner corner shade or the perfect lid shade. These shades are a bit more on the grayish side, but they still have a bit of tint of green. But all in all, I really like these 2 shades, even though at first I thought they could have been even better if they were a bit more on the greenish side. Now I really think that Natasha chose the best shades for this palette, and I really love it. So I think for spring, with this pink as well, this palette would be very stunning. I have another Natasha Denona recommendation, but let's move into this Nabla palette first. And this one is the Nabla Cutie palette in Wild Berry, and I do love the packaging as well. And in here we have 6 shades, and for a berry look, it's just the perfect color story. This shade, it's like a satin shade, so it's blending into the crease very easily, but the texture is a bit crumbly, so it's not the best shade in here, but the rest of them are perfection. These mattes are blending very easily, and these shimmers are so beautiful. This one is like a topper shade, and if you want, let me show you how you can build them. So if you want a very dark look, you can take a dark shade and blend it on the exterior of the eye and even into the lid, and then you can put this shade on top and look at this. And of course you can use the other shades as well, but this combo is so stunning. So this palette, it's really a beautiful one, and you saw how smooth the matte was, so this palette is just very good quality. For the next palette, I really need to recommend the Lost in Los Angeles palette, and this one is from BH. This is just a very well curated palette, and it's a pastel palette. This is a very affordable palette as well, and the quality is there. If you want to add just a pop of color into your looks, this palette is just great. These shades are perfection into the crease, just the best for transition colors, and you can just add a black if you want from other palette, or just any darker mattes, or you can do just a very soft, colorful look. If you are a neutral lover, maybe that will be a bit easier for you and a better transition into colors. You can just use this peachy shade, which again is very, very stunning. It's a matte, and maybe just a gold, and this is just a neutral look. Or of course you can add some blue, which is very, very beautiful as well. This one is called Rush Hour, and look at this one, very beautiful. And the matte white in here is very impressive, really, really good quality. I have used this one a bunch of times in my inner corner. You can blend any of these shades with the white and to just lighten them even more. And I think I reach for this palette a lot only for the white, so it's just that good. So I really like this palette. It's one of my favorites. Let's talk about the other Natasha Denona palette. This one is the Coral palette and is not a mini. The pens are bigger than the Retro palette, for example. So they are like this. This palette is just stunning for spring because again it has this peachy shade, which I think it's just perfect for spring. And then we have some reds, and you can do a full red look with only these two, and these are very, very beautiful. And I really like this middle shade. It's a topper shade. It's quite similar to the Nabla shade, but it's just stunning. And this gold with some peach in it. So I really like the color story. And another thing that I really love about this palette is that the pens are magnetic, and I could just use a tool like this and poke the shades on the back, and then remove the eyeshadows and create other color stories with it, which I think it's amazing. The formula in here is the very lovely formula from Natasha Denona that I really, really like. And yeah, I think this palette is just very, very stunning for spring. And for my last palette in this video, I want to recommend an idea more than a palette, and that is creating your own color story for spring. I think creating palettes is very, very fun. So if you have singles collection, you can create any color story that you want. And I have this series on my channel where I create palettes for each month. But in today's video, I want to show you my newer addition to the singles collection. I bought this palette from Letal Cosmetics, and if you want singles, Letal, it's really great. I have my first palette in here, and the shades are just stunning. I will swatch some of them for you. And then I created this palette. So let me show you some shades from the first palette. Let's see. This shade, so beautiful. And then this purple in here. I will list down below all the singles that I have. And the mattes are really, really stunning. Let me swatch something from this palette as well. These two are the multichromes. I'm filming in direct light, so I don't know if I can show you the shifts, but they are very, very cute. And they had this collection with this shade in here. It's called Professor Patch with the animal charity, and I think that's great as well. For the last palette, I really want to recommend creating your own color story. I think it's very fun, and I will list down below the playlist with my own palette creations if you want some inspiration. So these were all the palettes. If you like the video and you want to see more from me, please subscribe and give it a like, and I'll see you next time.